40% of seniors feel left out of the big, beautiful bill. And a lot of seniors are not happy. I did a video yesterday talking about who is going to benefit from the big, beautiful bill. And the fact is that there are some low income seniors that have been left out of what has been a big win for the president. So the question is, who are the winners in the big beautiful bill? Who are the losers? And most importantly, what can be done to help those who feel left out of this gigantic bill that is supposed to reshape a lot of programs in this country and offer relief to a lot of seniors? So my name is Kwame Kwade. I am a personal finance and government benefits expert. For 15 years, I've been helping seniors get the benefits they deserve. I cover Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps, and other personal finance issues that affect seniors. So if you are new here, welcome. I am glad you're here. And do me a favor, go into the comment section and let me know your city and your state. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a long time, I am glad you're here. Thank you for supporting my channel. Let's get to the breaking news. So I have been covering the big, beautiful bill over the last couple of weeks, and leading up from when it was passed in the House to the Senate. And then also now that the president has signed the bill, there is a lot of things to be excited about, but a lot of seniors are not happy with the big, beautiful bill because they are beginning to realize that even though about 60% or 50% of seniors have things that they can be excited about in the bill, there are a lot of seniors that see this bill as nothing more than just the same old Washington dance where you are promised an increase, you are promised benefits that are going to help you, and then you find out that after all this effort, that there's nothing in there for you. Specifically, seniors that are on, disability benefits, seniors that are getting spousal and survivor benefits, and low-income seniors that are barely getting by with the minimum Social Security benefit. They look at this bill and they don't see anything in there for them. If that is you, I want you to hit me in the comment section, because I think there's a bigger number than people realize of how many seniors are waking up to realize that this massive bill that is costing trillions of dollars that a lot of people are excited about are not going to help you. And so my job today is to highlight the key things that are in the bill. And then I'm going to talk about certain benefits that are being reduced and what you can do about it, what you can do to stay on top of your role in making sure that your benefits are not taken away from you. But what are the big highlights of the big, beautiful bill? The first thing that if you're a senior citizen, you need to know is that the no taxes on Social Security portion that the president promised is not in the bill. Why? Because of Senate and congressional rules, especially the Byrd rule, they cannot do anything with Social Security in the reconciliation bill. That's actually a good thing, because they don't want Congress to be able to use the reconciliation bill, which requires only a majority vote in the Senate, to make massive changes to Social Security. So even though the president promised no taxes on Social Security, he could not deliver it with a reconciliation bill. And so instead, the House of Representatives proposed a $4,000 tax deduction. Now, a tax deduction is different from a tax credit, because a tax credit, you can just subtract it from your taxes that you owe and you're good. Tax deduction just reduces your taxable income. And so they proposed a $4,000 tax deduction. Well, the Senate took it further to $6,000. Now, here's the problem with that. If you are a senior citizen and you don't file taxes, you don't pay tax on your Social Security, you don't make enough combined income, then you do not benefit from this $6,000 tax deduction. So even though it's a big number, it does not help you in any way, because you don't have taxable income to begin with. So that is the first problem with this bill, is that a lot of seniors see the $6,000 tax deduction and they are frustrated because there is no way they can access that tax deduction because they don't make enough money to be able to get it. And then if you are a senior that makes enough money and you're paying taxes on Social Security, this $6,000 tax deduction does not completely eliminate your Social Security taxes. About 80% of coverage is what you may get at the top or the maximum. So the Social Security Administration sent out an email recently that talks about the fact that, no tax on Social Security has been eliminated, and that is not true. This bill only takes you 80% of the way. So, and also it expires in 3 years. So the $6,000 tax deduction that is in the big beautiful bill expires in 6 years. Sorry, 3 years. So once the president is out of office, this is gone. And then we're going to be back having this discussion again. But let's get back to, if you are making up to $75,000, you can deduct and you get the maximum $6,000 as an individual. So if you have a senior citizen filing taxes as single person and you make about $75,000, you can get the entire $6,000. If you're a couple filing jointly and you make $150,000, you get to deduct $12,000. So if you are a senior citizen in the high income category, you are going to get some tax relief. So that is the first level. 75,000, you get a 6,000 tax deduction on top of your regular senior deduction that you already get. So this is stacking up deductions. So that's a good thing. The next category of seniors that benefit is if you make over $200,000 as a senior citizen, you get about $12,500 in tax relief based on the extension of President Trump's 2017 tax cuts. And then if you make about $500,000, you are going to get about $25,000 in tax breaks. And then those that make $1 million are getting about $188,000. So as your income goes up, you make more in tax relief. The problem is that if you make less than $25,000 in income, in combined income, you do not get any tax relief. Actually, your taxes, you lose money. You lose money. And I am going to share with you a particular analysis that I saw that highlighted that actually people in the low income category end up on the losing end because you don't get a tax deduction, you don't get a tax cut, you actually get a tax increase by the things that if you combine everything that they are taking away from low income families, you actually get, you are worse off. But let's focus on seniors for a second. The second thing that is in this bill that a lot of seniors are excited about if your income is high is the SALT deduction, the state and local tax deduction. So this was a very controversial thing where people that live in high tax states like California, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Washington, Massachusetts, where local taxes are high, you can deduct up to $40,000 in your state and local taxes from your federal taxes. And then if you buy an automobile, if you buy a car in America or made in America or largely made in America, you can deduct the interest on the car loan. And then tax credit for children have been extended. So if you have grandkids or you have people in your family that have children, the child tax credit was increased by $500, but about 500,000 people to 2.5 million people got knocked off. So that's a whole different video. But I'm trying to tell you the things that are in this bill that can be appealing to low income and middle class families. But if you are a senior citizen that do not file taxes, then there is an issue. And the issue is that all the things that you were promised, all the bills that they could have included in this big, beautiful bill that could have helped you were not included. And that is the frustration that I'm hearing in all the comments that I'm seeing from seniors that are frustrated that they've been excluded from this bill, even though they were promised that everybody was going to be covered when it came to seniors, that seniors were going to get relief. And so it is very disappointing for a lot of seniors to see that they are not part of this relief. And so let's talk about that. Okay, let's talk about that. What could have been done? What could they have done to help you? Now, there's a couple of things that I think that could have been included in this bill, but let me just share with you the fact that even the Social Security Administration is also telling a different story that I don't think is completely true. So you may have received an email from the Social Security Administration telling you and announcing that there's a lot of exciting things happening, and I got one too. And this is what I got in my email. The Social Security Administration applauds the legislation providing historic tax relief for seniors. Well, that is all well and good until you read the details and you realize that even the Social Security Administration is not telling the full story. Because the email said the Social Security Administration is celebrating the passage of the One Beautiful Bill. And it says the bill ensures that nearly 90% of Social Security beneficiaries will no longer pay federal income taxes. So even the Social Security Administration is acknowledging that the bill does not take away all of your Social Security taxes. They said 90% is actually 80%, because independent researchers have come in and calculated everything, and they said in the best case scenario, it only takes you 80% of the way. And so now you can see that there is a gap and there is a problem, because this also ends in 2028 when the president is out of office. So the other part of the email says the new law includes a provision that eliminates, listen to that, eliminates federal income taxes on Social Security for most beneficiaries. Well, what does most mean? It means that it's not everybody. So even if you're paying taxes on Social Security, your entire taxes did not go away. Only some of it went away. So even the Social Security Administration is acknowledging that the bill did not go all the way to deal with the issue. And a lot of news organizations were calling them out on it. Today, I saw a lot of news organization coming out and saying the Social Security Administration email was misleading. The New York Times, Axios, and other organizations came out and said that email was not correct, because it was giving the impression that taxes on Social Security has been eliminated, when in fact it did not do that. Fortune even went further. Social Security sends incorrect email saying big beautiful bill and taxes on Social Security, and it did not. So why should you care? Why should you care about all this? Well, the point I'm trying to make is that even the thing that was promised, 100% of it was not delivered, and it only ends in 3 years. So in 3 years, we're going to be back here talking about this again. But more importantly, for seniors that did not get relief under the big beautiful bill, a lot of the things that you were hoping for did not happen. And I want to talk to you about that. So the first thing is that if Congress wanted to really help all seniors and make sure that low-income seniors were taken care of, there were a couple of things that they could have done that will make a real difference. And I want to go through a few of those, because in my future videos, that is what I am going to be pushing for, so that you guys will call your representatives, call your senators, call your congressperson, and let them know that you are aware that these bills exist in Congress that could be passed, that will bring real relief to seniors that did not benefit from the big beautiful bill. So I want you to pay attention to the names of the bills, so that you can also let them know that you know that these bills exist. So the first bill, and I've talked about this in a few of my videos, if you've been watching my videos frequently, the first bill they should have passed was the Social Security 2100 Act. They could have just included that in the big beautiful bill, and that would have given seniors who are receiving low Social Security benefits at 600. My lights went up here, so let me turn them back on. Okay, so give me a second. I'll be right back. I am in a big auditorium, and I think the lights automatically go out. And so let me try and turn them back on. All right, let me see how I can do this. All right. Sorry about that. I had to move location. I'm in a big um, office building, and the light automatically went out. So, so let's continue. So what I'm saying is that they could have included the Social Security 2100 Act, which would have given seniors that are getting the minimum Social Security benefits $660 in increase. Now, that bill has been around. So if you talk to your congressperson, senator, if you talk to your congressperson, let's say that the Security 2100 Act would have really helped seniors in the low income category and would have given you an average of $660 increase in your benefits. That is the first thing they could have done. And I think that not doing that has done a lot of disservice to seniors who are in the low income category that were waiting for help and never got it. The second thing they have done is also pass the Social Security Expansion Act. Now, this is a particular bill that is always dangled in front of seniors every so often, and it's supposed to get you all riled up to go vote for them, and then they never do anything. So you're probably thinking, what does the Social Security Expansion Act do? Well, this was the bill that was supposed to help you fight inflation. If you've been paying attention to the last couple of years, inflation has gone up and stayed up. Prices have gone up and stayed up for a lot of goods. And so, for those of you who got the Social Security cost of living adjustment and were disappointed, this bill, the Social Security Expansion Act, would have helped you with a $200 increase and a $2,400 total increase in your benefits if you calculate it on an annual basis. So the average senior citizen would have received $2,400 if the Social Security Expansion Act was included in the big beautiful bill. And here's one thing I'm going to tell you. The Social Security Expansion Act is paid for. It would have been paid for by removing the cap on Social Security taxes. What does that mean? It means that people, if you already know how Social Security is taxed, only the first 176,100 is taxed in 2025. So the Social Security Expansion Act would have removed the cap so that all income, regardless of how much you make, everybody will pay Social Security taxes. And then that money, a part of it will be used to extend the lifespan of Social Security. You probably heard that Social Security is going to run out of money in 2033 and they're going to cut benefits by 23%. Well, by removing the cap, they would have been able to solve that problem in 2033, even before. In addition, by removing the cap, they would have been able to give every senior citizen a $200 increase right now. So I've given you two bills that have names that they can pass today, tomorrow. It's not something new that they have to spend weeks chatting about and fighting about. These are bills that have bipartisan support already in the Congress, both houses, that they can pass, that they haven't passed. So it is not that they don't know what they can do to help seniors, is that they don't have the political courage to do it. And so if somebody is telling you that there was nothing they could have done, they are not getting you the full picture. There was something they could have done. And there's a lot they could have done. The third thing they could have done for seniors in the low income category was do something about your cost of living adjustment. When the cost of living adjustment came this year, I was surprised. It was almost a joke. 2.5% increase when, on the other hand, your Medicare Part B premium went up by 6.6%. And so you find yourself in a situation where you feel like you cannot catch up. They give you with one hand a little bit, and then they take with another hand a lot, because your Medicare Part B premium also increased to $184 if you're paying the minimum. And so that is taken out of your Social Security check, and a lot of seniors, were struggling as a result. And so what can they do to fix the Social Security cost of living adjustment? Well, two things. Number one, the way the Social Security cost of living is calculated is currently using the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers. It is Social Security language for they are using the cost changes in goods and services that urban wage earners are experiencing. Well, the problem with that is that urban wage earners are not recipients of Social Security benefits. And so what is happening is that each year you feel like you're falling behind because they are not realistically looking at the cost that affects seniors on a daily basis. Urban wage earners are not the ones that are on Social Security. It ignores a lot of costs that affect seniors: prescription drugs, healthcare, long-term care, transportation, housing, etc. And so by changing the way the cost of living is calculated from the CPI, which, CPIW, to CPIE, the E will stand from elderly. It means that they will create a whole new consumer price index that focuses on seniors and the cost that affects them. And then each year they're going to use that to calculate your cost of living adjustment. That would have made more sense. And in addition to doing that, in addition to creating a completely new calculation of your cost of living adjustment, they will also put a minimum benefit that your cost of living adjustment cannot be lower than 3.5%. And so that would have been a big deal because, number one, the calculation will be realistic to reflect the cost that seniors are experiencing. And then number two, you have a minimum of 3.5%. And so those are three things that they could have done on the Social Security side that would have brought real relief to seniors. And then they can also do something in addition to the Social Security side. They can do something on the food stamp side where they can increase the minimum benefit to $75, the minimum food stamps benefit to $75, because currently it's $23, and a lot of seniors are frustrated by that. And so that is something they could have done. And then if they want to even go further, maybe help you with utility assistance. A lot of seniors have been hitting me up in the comments that your utility bills are outrageous. Here in Maryland, where I live, we just got a notice from our utility company, BGE, increasing our rates by some ridiculous amount. And it's happening across the country. And so I know that a lot of seniors are getting hit by that. And what they're doing is taking away the low income energy assistance program, or at least severely reducing it. And so one of the things they could have done was secure that for seniors. So my point is that there is so many things they could have done in the big beautiful bill to support seniors that are in need in the low income category, and it was not done. And I think that that is what my presentations are going to be focused on over the next couple of months, because I want to make sure that and everybody that should knows that it wasn't that they didn't know what to do, is that they didn't have the political courage to do it. So let me know in the comments what you think. I am going to be back live tomorrow, but I want to talk to you a little bit about Medicare before you leave. If you don't know about our partner, Chapter Medicare, the number you see on the screen, call them because they can get you in the Medicare plan that fits you. A lot of seniors now need to save money, and so every dollar you save helps. Chapter can save you $1,100 a year and put you in a Medicare plan that fits you. And if you're in the wrong plan, they're going to tell you. And I have been doing this for 15 years. I have never partnered with a Medicare company until now because Chapter is the real deal. And I know that we've sent them over 2,000 viewers like you that have been helped and gotten them into a better plan. And so I'm going to put a link to a form in the comment section and also link it in the description, and just fill out a form. There is no cost to you, but here's what they're going to do. They're going to check your Medicare plan and make sure that you're in the right plan. And if you're not in the right plan, they'll help you get you into a better plan. So guys, thank you for joining me on this Tuesday night. I wanted to hop on and just give you some encouragement, those who feel left out of this bill, and to let you know that there are things that can be done. And collectively, we're going to keep talking about it until they do something about it. So I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching.